A farewell to Kenny Rogers, Zoom meetings, and grocery store bingo. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations.
Hello, a sight for sore eyes.
Why are your eyes so sore? What's going on?
Allergies, baby.
Oh,
We are in charming, lovely, delightful North Carolina. And unlike my kooky banana friends that I see all over the world with snow, we have 80-degree days. We have open all the windows, sunny, beautiful weather. We have everything in bloom. We are God's Eden, right? So you walk and in all that implies. Everything is in bloom. The bees are jacking off in every possible corner because there's pollen everywhere.
Yikes.
So everything is coated in a delightful shade of chartreuse, and it's awful. That just makes it
beaches.
That's right. So it does make everything blossom and grow. It's beautiful. We love it. And also, you just walk around like, okay, I've been cutting onions for 30 days. Yeah. It's very, very blurry.
And then when you sneeze or cough, people are like, you're either
it's the
infectious
worst.
or...
It's the worst. It's like a dirty bomb because the whole time, and then you immediately, as it's coming out, you do the whisper pre-sneeze where you're like, I'm trying to hold it. I'm bringing up my bat wing to sneeze into my elbow. Allergies. So it's like you gotta get all your clarifications out before it happens. And
I don't know. I think
mine is go ahead.
I think my kids would just like blow a sneeze everywhere and be like, "Why? What?" I don't think they'd be that kind.
Well, not to jump right into virus talk, but did you actually see that there was, I believe, a woman in, I was going to say Walmart. There was two. There was a man in Walmart and a woman in a supermarket. The woman in the supermarket forcefully coughed, like consciously, I'm going to cough on this stuff, and required the supermarket then to throw out $35,000 worth of otherwise viable food. What a douche! Can you imagine?
That happened here in Pennsylvania.
That was where you
so proud. I've never been so proud.
Oh, Florida man can marry Pennsylvania woman. Pennsylvania woman. I love
That's
it.
offensive. It really is. I mean, you saw that YouTuber who licked a toilet seat?
No. Oh, 100 years ago? Yes.
No, more recently, and has the virus. Yeah, I mean,
he licked a toilet to get the virus, or he had the virus and he licked a toilet.
I thought
Either
it was
one.
a she.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Both ways are stupid. There's no. Oh, I could see why one might behave this way if you put that phrase at the beginning of the sentence. No.
Still no. All of the no's.
Still no.
Again,
Still
Florida man. Sorry, Florida man.
Still no.
Stuart has a coworker from residency whose wife is so lovely. So lovely. She created a Facebook group called like Frontline Families. Like you're sending your partner out to work.
I want to hear it. Tell us.
And you shit your pants when they
Yes.
leave, and you worry all day, and if you turn on the news, you vomit and worry all day. It's horrible. And then they come home, and what do? Like you put them right in the decontamination tent.
Welcome to the garage. That's where you're staying.
You'll be living here.
This is the bucket for your contaminated everything. Stand in the bucket. We'll see you tomorrow. I mean, it can't be that. You tell me. You're living it.
Kids, get the bleach and hose. Like that's really how. I mean,
well, as long as it gets the hose. Kidding.
Oh,
no, I make light because otherwise I'll die. Tell me more about how you're dealing with this.
She's so lovely and so sweet, and she's into eating healthy and yoga, and she's wonderful. If you're not me, if you if you deal well and naturally, and she's fucking delightful.
Fucking sunshine. Yeah.
She is. She really is so warm and sweet and delightful. Her whole family is. So she says, tell us one of your stressors in this group and what you do to counter it. I said, Stuart leaves for work and I eat a bag of Funyuns.
Yeah. And that's step A.
Right.
Of 95 steps. Yeah.
During the day, I bake banana bread and I eat it when he's gone, and I worry about all these patients. In the evening, he comes home takes off his clothes, puts it in a bag, takes it upstairs, does the laundry, washes his hands, face, neck, everything visible. And I eat 2 dozen chocolate chip cookies.
I'm surprised he wouldn't just jump in the shower, and just do a whole full soap. But he knows best. The man's an emergency room physician. He knows best as with first profession, and he knows better than best as who he is. He's a super smart guy. So
he's also convinced that he's had it / been exposed to it /
agree, which means he brought it home / which means you guys have already been. Yeah. I gotta say I'm completely convinced that I've had it as well, but that makes me even more terrified that I've spread it because I match all the symptoms. I've had everything. Really. Anyway, so the only reason that I would love to be able to, and I haven't sought it out because I can't. I sought it out when I could and there weren't any. To get a test is to see if and when that antibodies business begins, where donating blood, donating anything can be assistive to somebody else. That's great. But for now, the best thing that I can do is continue and force everyone in my household, good luck, Amy. It's working, though, to continue behaving as if we all have it. So it's an inverse. We're not trying to prevent getting it. We're trying to prevent giving it. We're acting like we already have it and we are the bomb. Well, we know we're the bomb, but we're trying to be. You're trying to be not
right.
the bomb.
That's exactly what they tell you to do. You're doing everything right. I, on the
What?
other hand,
What?
I know it's shocking. What? Yes, I will take that out as a drop. You're doing everything right. You're 100% right. I left the house this morning. I left
You
to
did?
go. Yeah, I had to give blood this morning, and it's not something that I said, you know what, Red Cross really needs blood right now. I'm going to go. I give blood every 60 days. I've told our listeners it's the one good thing that I do. It's the one thing that I can say I'm not a completely shitty human who just said semi-nice things about one of the largest rays of sunshine in the world, doing yoga and eating well. So I gave blood this morning, and I was super curious to see how my every 60-day routine would change, because these people are frontliners too, and I wanted to see how they handled the flow. I've been in there with like 20 people waiting to give blood, and I know I saw an ad on TV saying, please donate blood. We need it desperately. And I thought, am I going to be sitting in a room with 20 people again? Because I'm out. If that's the case, I'll go on an appointment where I'm the only person. But walk down the stairs. They take your temperature before you enter a room to make sure that you are, most of them are asymptomatic anyway. But they check temperature. I know these ladies. I go all the time. And I don't just go for the free T-shirts, Dunkin' Donuts.
T-shirts? I thought you just got candies and the orange juice.
Well, Red Cross gives out T-shirts, but for showing up to give blood sometimes. And my Lorna Doones. I got my Lorna Doones, man. I can't leave there without them. Their shortbread cookies.
Okay,
joy.
so they took your temperature.
Yep.
And they said, you hot lady, but ain't no fever. So now what?
They took
Welcome to a den of other people stuck with knives.
No, there was one person there before me. I always try to become one of the first appointments also, because waiting, I'm not real good at waiting. I'm really not in general.
Yes.
I don't know if it's. Yes,
I'm just gonna add yes.
I agree with you, Melissa. You suck at waiting.
Yes.
I'm early to everything, so I don't mind waiting until the time of my appointment. But by the time you make me, like, you're running late, I'm now way late, and I can't have it. I have no patience for that. I don't know why I've become so much less patient with age.
There was a time when you were more patient.
Yeah, there was a time I just didn't care about anything. And now I want in, I want out, I want to put on my night pants. Which, by the way, could you differentiate that between any other pants you're wearing these days?
That's right.
It's a world of night pants.
I've
been training.
Day pants, vacation pants, work pants, sleep pants, no pants. It's kind of all a blur.
No pants. Yes,
I'm not that gal. I feel like I need to say, I'm not that gal. I'm not the gal who in her own home walks downstairs in the underskivvies and a T-shirt and like suddenly makes breakfast for myself or coffee for me or breakfast for somebody else. Or I don't. If I'm out of the bedroom, I am wearing a something. I'm wearing a something.
Sometimes a one-piece something.
Never. I want sometimes a one-piece something. I'm wearing a something. I have never been that person. And I have lots of friends who I love and adore who will, after a particularly fun time the night before, will join me in their own kitchens in their underpanties. And it's like, hello. And they just don't even, and I'm sort of like, really? And I've seen these women with even less clothing and like partial bathing suits with, private areas exposed. And still, it seems so shockingly intimate to me to wander around in your underjams. I can't. But I also don't have a big bag of porn, so maybe I have super hang-ups.
No, you're prude. We've talked about how prude you
are.
Prude?
That's hilarious. Is that true?
You're a whorish prude.
Okay. Well, that's how it works. It's delightful. It's both sides. Yes.
I'm an outgoing introvert. Yeah, I know. It's,
okay.
We are morons, oxymorons, but morons nonetheless.
as long as there's some oxy. No, don't make drug jokes. Don't make drug jokes.
Right.
They're funny, but they're not funny.
They're funny, but they're not always
funny.
appropriate.
And I am a moron.
Let me tell you something super hilarious that my son said today.
Just the one?
I think I peed my pants. Like I was going to wait for you to take a drink out of that beautiful amber drink that you have in your hand.
Isn't it fantastic?
What is that?
Well, I actually took some advice from a friend, and I'm not drinking wine while we podcast, but today is a day where I really need some wine. So instead, I put in a wine glass my homemade half and half sweet tea. So this is some Southern old sweet tea, but I did put it in a wine glass so I can pretend
I like it. It looks
that a drink is
beautiful.
It is delicious.
So my kid says to me, thank God I wasn't drinking and it only came out one end. I said, hey, Amy and I are going to podcast in a little bit. I need you to get off Wi-Fi is what I need.
Right.
I need you to clear Wi-Fi, none of this crap dropping off or whatever. And he said, oh, no, I'm going upstairs to do a podcast with, and he named two of his friends, right?
Who wait a minute. What? Who?
So he says, I'm going upstairs to record, and he names one, like I told you, all of his friends are
Ding and Dong. Yeah, sure. Okay.
He's the only white boy in his group of friends, which I couldn't love more.
I immediately jump because I'm racially wired this way. I immediately jump to these are black African American heritage dudes. Are they Chinese dudes? They're not white. So what do you mean by not white?
So he happens in this sentence to have said there's an Indian kid and a black kid, and he says, no, I'm going upstairs to record minority observations.
Oh, you would think he would play on Brilliant because that is his name. I love it. I love it. But if they don't name it that, they don't deserve to have a podcast. You should just tell them. And I will write that on their Apple review. Trust me. Because I've got enough of you fucks. Yeah, okay, definitely.
They don't have a podcast.
You want to put that shit in public? Minority observation.
I said, so are you the one Jew there? And he said, yes, it's minority
Jews
observation.
Aren't a minority. Jews aren't a minority. Are they?
Are
really
you kidding?
Yeah.
Wildly,
No, I'm not kidding.
Yes.
Wildly.
Yes.
Why? How? No.
There are more blacks than Jews. And if they're a minority, then...
Honey, I just meant in terms of other world religions. I was comparing religion to religion, not Jew. I was thinking of Jew as the religion, not Jew as a race.
Oh, it's still it's 6%? Yeah, it's a minority. A teeny tiny one, but they're just because they fill up your life doesn't mean they fill up the world.
They do control the world and everything in it, I've heard.
I thought just Hollywood and the banks. I don't know.
Right. The important stuff.
Only the things that right.
Everybody knows that that's a fucking joke. So tell me, minority observation.
I wet myself and I said, you're doing a disservice to the world if you do not do that podcast because the three of you have observations that I would love to hear.
You have such specific dopitude that you have to put into the world. You
make
are
it a 4 minute.
on idiocy, on a particular age landlocked dunceness. We need you. We need your stupid voice.
Don't all three of those communities bring their own crazy to that podcast, though? That would be hilarious.
I don't know. I hate to think that your son is representative of anything or his friends, not even knowing them. But I think it would be hilarious.
Shocking.
You
know what shocked me last week?
What?
Kenny Rogers died.
Oh, dear. That's some sad news.
You have no history with Kenny?
I have a particular history with Kenny that is in no way emotional. It's because I thought one friend who is a Kenny devotee, and that friend ain't fucking you. I had no idea that you have any connection to the KR. My only thing that I saw about this that really kind of moved me, and it was with a giggle, dare I say, is and I'm going to butcher it right now because it's not top of mind, but somebody had posted, ain't it like Kenny to dip out with the ultimate poker game of life? You got to know when to fold 'em. So it was like, checking out during COVID. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty gangster. Good for you, Kenny. No, my friend Lizette in Jersey is half Sicilian, half Puerto Rican, right? So there's a small personality there, right? There's
tiny.
There's a little bit of passion there. And she's from Jersey, right? And she's from the got something bigger than a knife in my handbag part of Jersey, right? So it's good news that we're good friends. That's good news for me, okay? And for everybody else, right? And you should aim to be that person. So the fact that she was so up Kenny's grill makes no sense to me. None. Zero. She is a Kenny Rogers with the tear coming down the face to say it. Don't take your love to town. Singing along, crying, going to concerts, buying the fucking boots, doing the shit, dancing at parties, druggity drunk, bringing out the Kenny. I'm like, we were just doing like hip hop shots. And now all of a sudden it's like, whatever the hell
she's
he was
singing
saying.
Through the Years. She's singing Lucille.
And bawling, hard bawling, ugly, crying. Oh, my Kenny, grabbing her chest like, like she's got Teen Beat up on the wall. Who are these? Is this you? Why are you making faces like you? I don't get it. How does Kenny have the fucking Kavorka? He's got that beard. I love you, Kenny. But, man, it's not the look of him. Tell me what it is.
There are two Kennys you're talking about right now. There's the plastic surgery later in life Kenny.
No, nobody talks about him. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, then that's fine. Then the Kenny you're talking about is the one I grew up with a huge crush on.
OG Kenny. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you crush that? Why?
First of all, I've always been a facial hair girl.
What?
I know. He's a storyteller. The stories he told through his music made me happy and sad, and I was one of those islands in the stream. When he told the story of the coward of the county, you could have heard a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door. Like, I know your wide eyes.
I don't even know that song.
Oh, I mean, should.
If you're looking for a fucking storyteller, what's wrong with your own stick to your own kind? Billy fucking Joel. What's the matter with you?
I love Billy Joel. I've seen him in concert more than Kenny, but
you've seen Kenny. I just spit. You've seen Kenny Rogers in concert? There were concerts to be attended. What?
Here, do you remember from college, AJ?
No. Yeah, well, of course. Yeah, I was going to say the last name, and then we don't know how to beep things out, so it's a good thing I caught myself.
So AJ her parents rented this place at Ocean City, Maryland. So we went down and we went to the boardwalk over the summer. We spent
smorgasbord at Phillips. It's delicious.
Well, on that boardwalk, I mean, there's the whole fair going on and all the foreign staff that they hire from God knows where.
Yeah, Czechoslovakia lady's going to serve you your greasy boardwalk fries.
I didn't see any ladies. I just saw boys. We were boy crazy. There were boys everywhere, and the accents were wow. So
they were banging.
We were all banging, by the way. So
boop, it gets boop. White sand only for a little while. All right, keep going.
Oh my God, I'm gonna throw up.
Wow. I'm sorry. That's gross. It's just tea. It's just tea.
Does not come from a woman who wears pants.
I will drop my pants. That's very different than just wandering around without any pants. It's like toilet art. There's a time and a place for things.
Don't you mock toilet art. I love toilet art.
I'm not mocking it. I am disavowing it. There's a difference.
You're out of your mind.
Let's stay focused. Let's stay focused on Kenny.
Right.
It's the Kenny Memorial. We don't need to be talking about pantsless whores on the beach.
So
unless
we went for about 5 or 6 nights down to the boardwalk, and we hung and we waited for things to close, and we got to know all of these people.
We did the whole thing.
Got the whole world. Right.
Is that more Kenny shit?
No. So, no, that's like an American classic. So,
well, honey,
AJ's mom turns to us and says something in her little colloquial, "You girls want to stop the whoring for one night and go see Kenny?"
Well,
and
she knows you.
Our faces turned red, and I looked at her and I said, Who's Kenny? I was like, what is she talking about?
Thank you. Now you understand how the rest of the world feels. Yes.
No, and she said Kenny Rogers. He's at the whatever center.
Poker
I'm like,
table. That's
oh my God, yes. No, I loved him. I grew up on him. The Muppets sang The Gambler. It was the best. Don't you remember them on the Muppet Show?
No.
Kenny Rogers. Oh, it was so good. Dear listener, get my back here, please. I can't be in this all alone.
You got to separate two things.
Go
One,
ahead.
I have zero knowledge or cultural reference for the same life that you and I have lived. So that's where it's really hurting my head. And then you put that to the side and recognize, I get that this is a significant loss, and I feel for you and I support you. This is not in any way to detract from, he is a talent, he is a force, and he will be with us always. And this is a sad, sad, sad fucking day. The reality is, ain't nobody fucking know Kenny Rogers. So you got to put the two things side by side on the shelf.
So we went to this concert, and he came out in a lavender blazer, and I thought, that is a confident man. I'm like,
well, that's something. Yeah,
I love him. He did a movie called The Six Pack, where he had all these kids and car racing. Your husband will know it, car racing.
I'm sure he does. He may have it in that fucking house, as far as I know.
That's your assignment.
Okay, very good. I'll take it.
The six pack or a six pack.
Out of respect for you and the great fallen hero that is Mr.
What
Kenny.
about Dolly Parton? What about?
Yeah, sure, for sure, yeah.
And how about who do you sing "Lady" with? You're my shining armor.
Lady.
Yeah, that's it. So you know him. You just don't realize.
Something I will sing you.
And through the years, she believes in me. Oh my God.
Will never let him down. Turn my life around. I have got a beard and it's for you.
Yes. You make him sound underwater. Is he underwater?
Well, I'm not a man and I'm not a country singer, so hopefully.
How about, hey, while you're singing, how about Long Arm of the Law?
Oh, I don't know. I know that one. Give me a hint.
Can't outrun the long arm of the law.
No, I don't know it well enough.
Really?
To call it up. All I'm thinking is, I shot the sheriff, and that's
no.
Yeah, I totally know because I know it. He plays poker.
Or the reggae
and he knows
version.
when to hold him and fold him. Everybody knows this.
Yes.
He's got that whore that takes her love to town, and I only know that from Drunk Lizette. And so that is
hey
joy
Lizette,
for me
here's
because
a
I
shout
picture
out.
her weeping, singing, falling apart to this not that great song. God bless you, Kenny. And
storyteller.
She's singing it like he wrote it for her.
Because she brought her love to town.
Yes,
Lucille, yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. All right. I don't know what.
So good.
Surely there's more. And I do love Dolly. I know like 5 of her songs. I just love Dolly for who Dolly is. I don't really know. Well, Big Eyes. Who the fuck knows what she sings about?
Oh my God,
Dolly knows
love
like 5
Dolly.
songs, and one of them is a Kenny song. I think she got on there and sat down in front of some. She did a video, a farewell to Kenny, and she did a little video where she was sitting in front of what looked like a Walmart quality organ, not even a piano, an upright organ, and she was sitting there in a house that looked like it could be a tract home somewhere in unnamed acres, Tennessee. Right? It really was. I'm like, where are you? This can't be anything that you own. This can't be even a relative.
The wallpaper that gave me the heebie-jeebies?
It was so fucking weird. And she's sitting there, and shaking her leg the whole time while she's trying to talk and just talking around. And she says, I just want to say that I knew him as a talent and as a singer, but I also knew him as a friend, and he was a good man. And and I'm really sad. And this is an awful time for the world, but this is particularly awful for us and for the Kenny. And all I could fixate on is, where the fuck are you? Right?
Don't you
have 80 millions, so many millions that you give books away to every kid because you're so fucking great? Believe me, I think that you can find this. I don't know what that fucking was. That ain't where she lives. I guarantee you, that isn't where she lives.
She's on the set of some
well,
thing.
yeah, or I don't even want to speculate and yet I will, that she's like cultivating some sort of I'm just like you public persona where it's not too ostentatiously rich, where, you know, because I've seen her in lots of bleached white, leather, everything.
Oh, good. Okay, so
million,
she has
you know,
it.
and sitting there with plastic surgery, Kenny, and I'm like, who the fuck's that? Oh, that used to be Kenny Rogers. There he is. And the two of them are like, hey, and they got all their weird silicone in different places on their bodies, and they're still singing through the years. Yep. And they're tapping their feet and her, you know.
Oh, good. At least she's on like that white leather couch at some point. That wasn't very distressing. And then she held up that picture of Kenny, of the two of them.
I didn't hang with her that long. There's more to it. All right, I'll check it out. I
Check
love
it
you,
out.
Kenny. I love
Check
you.
it out. Dope.
I love you. I love you, Dolly. I do. I think you're great. I really do.
Shout out.
Super, super do.
You know what I don't love?
Here it comes.
Zoom meetings for the sake of Zoom meetings.
Oh my God.
Every human that you have met with, that you've seen for a meal, that you've talked about seeing, has said, "Oh, there's this new thing, not new, where we could all get together." Nope, everybody talks at once. Everybody wants to Zoom, and as an example of this, my brother-in-law sent an email yesterday and said, "Sunday, tomorrow, we're gonna meet via Zoom, and we're all gonna have brunch together, the whole family." So it's
I'm sorry. Did that
Right.
happen out loud? No.
gallery mode, all 9 pictures, all these people show up. It was
Horrifying.
my kids were like, "Do we need to be here?" They were just talking to each other.
My God. My God.
Have
my
you had
merciful
Zoom?
God.
Are you Zooming?
No, because I refuse to do it. I've been invited into about 90 million Zooms. Let me give you a little window into my world. I do remote. I work with clients all over the nation all day long. So when it's time for us to take a meeting, to have a presentation, it's not always prudent nor advisable to hop on a plane. Not every piece of business requires that level of investment.
Most don't.
Most don't. So I've been dealing with this, and we use a variety of services. GoToMeeting is the one that we've used for decades, just because it's been around, you know, a very long time, and we've just been using it. So, and it has a video component. There's hundreds of them. There is an etiquette to being on, and I give presentations this way. So I frequently will find myself as the presenter to a cast of more than 20 people who may have questions, right? So those are the worst. When you're trying to manage, the bigger it gets, the harder it gets. Because the etiquette is, it's not like a conversation. It is so close to a conversation that people forget. And they want to treat it like a conversation. And it's super not. And it's actually a little bit of work to make that happen. So fast forward to, I am in group texts with about, I would say, everyone on the planet. And these group texts, many of them overlap with each other. So I'll have 9 different group texts with, like, I'll use you as an example, with you in it. One of them is just you. One of them is you and, like, the Pope and, Benjamin Netanyahu. And
That's
then
my
another
favorite one.
That's the favorite one. And then there's one with Kenny, Dolly, and Kenny Chesney and that whole crowd, right? And then there's one with our college friends. And then there's one with you and all the lacrosse people. And then there's one with you and your mom. That's my favorite one.
Oh,
you know what
good
I'm saying?
God.
So I'm making an analogy. So I not only have these overlapping neighbors, family, sports teams. I have 3 kids. So there's 2 or 3 for each kid. Multiply, multiply, multiply. Then all of the new ones that have sprung up just to check on yous, and also this, and the one that I really like, and the super fun one, and the ladies who get together for lunch. I'm very fortunate. I have about 8 of those. So I have 8 different pockets, some of which overlap, some don't. I get so many texts. It's like the Zoom thing.
We get it. You're popular.
It's totally not that at all.
You're
People don't
famous.
have. It's not that at all. People don't have any etiquette in those fucking things either.
That's
They
true.
will write things like, "I'm in." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know who you fucking are." So I got so many of these things. You need to either say, "This is Carol. My son Charlie is a yes for the 12-year-old birthday party. I have 3 boys. Don't tell me we're coming to your birthday party. I don't know who the fuck you are, how old you are, whose party this is, which lacrosse league, which class, which Chinese teacher. I got 3 of them." So that's what I'm saying. It's too the fuck much. And Zoom starts to feel like now there's one just to be nice, to have fun. "Oh, isn't that wonderful? I want to talk to you. Oh, it's so great. It's so great." And then you get on there and there's 50 people and you see their faces and you're like, "Why don't you shut up so I can hear from you?" And then 4 of them talk. And I want to kill everyone.
Right. They have no concept of the etiquette. And that really brings me to the question that I had for you, which is why am I in better touch now during social distancing than in my normal life? I have more contact with people on the day-to-day now. Oh, I also have more contact with devil dogs and food, but with people because everybody, I don't know if it's because I live with a healthcare worker that everybody's saying, what's going on? How are you? How am I? Oh, because he's bringing home disease. Are you getting those too? Are you getting the how are yous at rapid fire?
I am. And I think that, yes, I was shaking my head no while you were talking, that I don't think it's just because you live with someone on the front lines of this war, okay? I think you're getting a different level of urgency, and maybe 10% more than others, but they're not seeking information from you, right? They're not doing, or you also, I would think that if you did get more, it would be from the, hi, I hope you guys are holding up, and can you tell me what the status of this test is? And my brother got this, and my brother, has sputum that is like pink today. What does that mean? Like, do you get a lot of that horse shit?
Well, what's funny is we get some of that. What's funny is I get some of that. I didn't go to medical school.
I don't want to bother Stuart, so would you bother Stuart?
I mean, I'm not a doctor by insertion. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, if only.
Yeah, right, right. Did you go to med school? No, I slept with 4 physicians.
Yes.
And now, what?
No, but I banged a Nobel Prize winner.
Are you getting a lot more calls?
I am. And the particular pressure is I am a connector anyway. And I really am sensitive to you saying, we get you popular. And that's fine. Make fun of me. That's no problem. I'm super not. What I am is very connected to a lot of people, and that's important to me. But it's energy and it's effort and it's work. Because I treat each one of those connections with the same level of importance, even if they're surface connections. I have a very hard time being like, a lot of people who I love and aren't malicious in any way are hardwired to have like tiers of you're in this circle of my life, and I have, even without thinking about it, have rote answers like, hope you guys are well, love you, stay safe. People who comment on everything on all the social threads, they just seem to do it differently. Like, I go really deep at each level, and it's overwhelming in this sense. The backlog of people to get to who I would have reached out to on my own, they're all reaching out to me, which I love. I'm so grateful to be connected to lots of people in life. I feed off that. I love it. I want more of it, but I'm not doing it well. They're reaching out to me. Usually it's the other way. Usually it's me reaching out to them. We have our connection. I move on. We rotate it, overlapping circles on the Venn diagram all the time, like a little atom constantly moving around. But with everybody going, I can't get, and each one, I don't feel comfortable giving them the, we're fine, move on, click send. We're fine, move on, click send. I won't do that. So there's this backlog of really no contact from me, which is worse. And they're like, but I haven't heard from you. And it's like, yeah, because when you talk, I want to talk to you. And I don't have the bandwidth to talk to you and you and you and you and you and you and you. It's
just listen to my podcast and find out why you haven't heard from me.
Well, I am in a fortunate and unfortunate situation. I am not on the front lines of this at all. I have been unwell recently, which caused some stress and some backlog as things were ramping up. I knew this was happening. And the majority of my clients are tourism clients. So all of my clients are responding to this because their industry is fundamentally changed long-term. So, and I'm a small business owner. I'm quite successful, but I am still small business. So all of that is happening, which means not on the front line. Working from home is my jam anyway. Working distance, my jam anyway. But I have been working, to be completely frank, around the clock. I have been working well past midnight every night, and my days start at 6 a.m. So, and this yesterday included. So this is the weekend. So yeah, it doesn't stop. So it's very weird to be sick and overwhelmed and overworked and have absolutely no justification to be sad in any way or have crisis in any way. I'm not a fucking emergency room doctor. I'm not washing my clothes. I've got a pantry that I stocked up 3 weeks ago that'll get us till Armageddon comes next week, right? We're ready to go. So if my big concern is I have to work because many other people are in the opposite situation. Federal teachers in my sphere who, not in our independent school, federal teachers who have been, I don't know what the word is, we'll say furloughed, who have been told your public school system is not going to be teaching for the remainder of the semester. You're just not. Do not talk to parents. Do not talk to anybody. And your pay is going to continue. Until we know what to say, we don't want you, you're off for 2.5 weeks with no communication. Until we tell you what to say, we want the messages coming from us. So do not respond to anybody. So the start of this thing for them has been stressful, sure, but open-ended time with full pay. I'm sorry. I think that let me say the real fact that I want to say. I am wildly jealous of these people. Yeah. Wildly jealous. And they are, and I have no reason to be, because they're dealing with stress and sadness, and schools are going to be there. You know, their industry is not changed. You're going to have a job to go back to. So I'm dealing with all of that madness, crazy madness. But getting back to the idea of the Zoom and the text and the outreach, I'm not doing it very well. And just saying that sentence is a whole new level of stress for me, because it's something that I prioritize doing well anyway, and I'm doing it the worst.
They say, I think you even told me before, call 2 people a day. Like have a contact with 2 people. And I thought I would share with you. I have not been doing that well either. Well, because I have 2 people in my house. My husband goes to work and there are 2 people in my house. And I look in and make sure they're doing okay. And then I make sure that they're going to the park with the dog and taking a mile lap and then coming back or whatever. So Stuart got a phone call the other night from somebody who I guess was doing the call 2 people thing.
Yes.
And the phone call was from the manager over at our local Morton's.
That is perfect.
I was horrified.
I
said, a steakhouse is checking on you? Is Starbucks calling to check on me?
We haven't seen you in a while, Mr. $1 Million. Where have you been? You know we still do takeout.
They have seen him recently, and they're still checking on him because they know what he does. And I mean, are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Morton's Steakhouse just called you to check on you? That is crazy.
That's perfect on 1 million levels. That's perfect on 1 million levels. And you should go back and have dinner there again. You should do a takeout this week. I love it. Good for you, Morton's. You got it right.
Well, they trained somebody well because Jason, shout out, Jason called and said, "Hi, Doc, I'm just calling to see." And I said, "Is that who I fucking think?" Like, because you know how you hear a conversation
You're right.
through your husband's empty head. Yeah.
Celebrating anything special tonight? Or is it just another Tuesday?
Yeah, I just could not believe that's who called. And we got
Private
another
room? Yeah.
another couple we know from our place in Florida with whom we have not spoken since like 2016, 2017.
Oh, wow.
Called to check on us, which was so lovely, which was really, really nice because we've been on their minds. And I thought, wow, that's really lovely. You want to know who called us? Morton's. That's who called us.
Commerce has checked in to make sure that
right. Oh my God. Don't even tell me that your email account does not have an email from Amazon, from Nordstrom, from every place you've ever purchased anything in your entire life has written you to tell you how they're dealing with COVID-19.
Yeah. Well, or to tell you, I will say this. I donate to a lot of causes, and one of them is it's called Guilford Green Foundation. It's a blanket organization that deals with all things LGBTQ plus. If I've left one out, it's only because I support the community, right? I don't necessarily, it grows all the time. So you're included too. They've been sending every 3 days really, really loving, but to me, frankly, fucking nuisance emails, really loving emails every 3 days. And the first email was, here's what we're doing. Here's what's changed. Here's the services. Here's the information. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then the very next day, hi guys, we're checking on you, and we're checking on you to make sure you're okay. So there was nothing transpiring other than And then 2 days later, it was,
hi guys,
how you still feeling? We want to make sure you guys are okay. And if you missed the last email, no. But honestly, when you think about a community, and I look at it this way, I support some organizations that aid with homelessness, people experiencing homelessness. They have converted the Greensboro Sportsplex, which is a giant giant, one of those, hello, sports campuses, right? The whole inside, they have converted it, and they're moving all of the homeless populations in there so that they have room to spread out, because it's closed. So they have room to spread out, so they have shelter, so that they're not wandering around, so that, because normally they'd
That's
be
lovely.
just, good luck, gang. So, yeah. And so the idea that a population was not necessarily feeling the love ordinarily, I think it is really important for a leadership level group to reach out and say, this is not the time to let feeling bad about yourself take a turn for the worse. We're all feeling bad about ourselves. Don't have to be gay to fucking hate shit. So, it was
You don't have to be gay to hate yourself either.
Yeah.
So, yes,
right. Go hate on somebody else. We got a long list.
We got a long list.
Yeah.
I got a long list of people you could hate.
Yeah, but the emails coming around, and I swear everything has changed. I'm trying to stay out of the grocery store, but these delivery services, so grateful, love them, think it's great, but it is a little bit like, playing roulette, trying to get shit from the grocery store, because I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to.
Have you done delivery?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tell me about it. We did Instacart yesterday.
We have multiple grocers here who are doing it in a variety of ways, and because they all have had set up standard. I mean, it used to be you could get from Whole Foods, you get shit delivered to your house within an hour. That was the normal. You would just say, "Oh, I forgot something while I'm making dinner," and that's how connected the stuff already was. And I didn't do it because I can also drive to Whole Foods and have it in 20 minutes instead of an hour. So whatever. Now, all of those services have such a backlog that you can't really dive in, except for one. It's the local conglomerate Lowe's Foods. They're doing a drop ship right from the distribution center. So instead of waiting for the employee to do the shop, to do the thing, which takes like 9 days or whatever and blah, blah. So this one, it takes 9 days because you can only sign up for it with the slots online. If you wanted to, you know what I mean? And it's all automated. And once those slots are gone, they do it based on a weekly circular.
Oh.
So you can't get more than 7 days ahead, and they're just booked. So and I may be wrong, and who the fuck cares about groceries? So I did the Lowe's drop ship from the distributor, and you say in there, do not substitute. Please do not substitute. I'm only buying the local honey because we take the local honey to help with the allergies. I don't want to spend $9 on honey if you don't have this particular brand. And if you're out of it, we'll be okay. We'll take some Claritin and cry. Don't worry about the honey. Please don't bring me 6 vats of teddy bear bullshit honey from, the farthest reaches of Orange Blossom, Florida.
Does me no good.
Plano, Texas is not helping me. Stop it. Stop. So it's like roulette. It's like playing grocery bingo. What the fuck? You open the bags, you're like, hey, what'd I pay for? Because y'all have to pay for it in advance too.
Do you
don't
say
see
Plano?
Nobody.
Do you say Plano, Texas instead of Plano, Texas in every single episode we do just to make me crazy?
I don't. It's not Plano. It did sound funny when I said it. Like,
Plano.
Is that supposed to be wrong?
Plano, Texas. Yeah,
Well,
we
it
did
has
it
to be.
yesterday. We did it yesterday. We knew when she started shopping. She said they don't have this. Do you want to substitute this? One of them I said yes. One of them I said no, thank you. But
you have an interactive communication with the person while she
Instacart.
shops.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure we have that. I haven't used it. I go online and I shop, frankly, looking through a visual catalog. This is exactly the product. Would you like it? This is exactly the price. Click it. It goes in your cart. And then you wait until the aforementioned time and someone rings the doorbell and all of your bags with the receipt are waiting on the covered porch. That's it.
Sometimes the pictures on my thing are no longer available because while she's going through the list, some bitch swiped the last one right in front of her. So that
or coughed on it because she's a fucking horrible. Right.
That Ken's Thousand Island dressing, which
you'd love to tell.
Oh, Kenny. Oh, his fans are crazy too.
You're the dressing on my salad, and I love you.
Oh my God, Amy.
Yes, ma'am.
How often do you talk to your parents?
Not nearly enough. They don't really talk. They don't call me back.
I wonder where you got it from.
They don't. They don't call me back. They don't. So I would say once every 3 weeks. Once every 3 weeks. She really didn't call me back. My father will text a lot of times, but they're also classic for, well, I just don't leave the phone turned on unless I need to call someone. Like their little mobile phones. forever. That's been their policy. And I'm like, the phone works two ways. Right?
What if I need to get in touch with you, woman?
Yeah. Oh, well, I just saved the battery. I'm not using it, so I just turn it off. I'm like, what? Yeah, stop.
Now, is that normal? What is the
No.
normal amount of... No, not that. No, that is normal for their age pocket.
They're very intelligent, accomplished people that do really fucking stupid things. Okay, next.
It's the same problem I have with my children. So what is the normal time frame of to talk to your parents?
I think that normal people, I think that normal, I have invited my parents on multiple occasions. I have enlisted my children on multiple occasions to try to guilt them into just moving in with us to move here. And they're like, fuck no. So yeah, they don't call me back. So at some point, maybe that'll improve. I think most people have some level of baseline communication with their parents once a week. I think once a week is once a week.
Unless there's a reason for otherwise. Unless there's a crisis or...
Yeah, unless they live in the neighborhood or live in the same city, then you might be texting them a little more frequently, because you might do things like in a normal week, can you get the kids they're involved in your life in that way. Can you get the kids, or we're having a pizza on X day, right? If you're not seeing them,
right,
the only way you're talking is via electronic means or telephone. I say once a week is probably average.
Dear listener, can you write in and let me know how frequently you talk to your parents? I have no concept.
Are you trying to get it down to 0, or what are you?
Trying to clear the books. I'm trying to clear all the books. I have no concept, I don't know if you've noticed this, of what's appropriate in a parent-child relationship with me being the child. I just don't know. I don't know what's appropriate. I can't know. Like I don't know with my parents. My mother took a spill. She hurt her head. She turned out to have another underlying problem. So I think I'm stressing out because I've spoken to her a lot. So I'm like, this can't be normal. Like, do people talk to their parents this often? I mean, my sister-in-law talks to her mother every day, if not several times a day.
What?
Her daughters call home all day long. So I see that relationship.
How old are they?
They're college students. One's in grad school.
Wait a minute. So that's not weird. So you're talking about college-age kids talking to their parents a couple of times a day.
Yes, and
that's
my
weird.
Sister-in-law talks to her
weird.
mother.
Okay, the couple of times a day for a college kid, unless they're like, and the money I need is ... I mean, that I get. But, how are you feeling today? No, that sentence is like, welcome to Christmas. Yeah, it's not.
I don't know what's appropriate. Have we figured that out, Raised by Wolves? I don't know what's appropriate. So I'm really genuinely asking, like, what do typical people do? Because I just don't know. And I can't, who are the people I know? Well, some of them don't have parents. Some of them have. Right, I figure, hey, here's my opportunity to ask you. You have parents who love you. I've previously in college, I think I went 7 months without talking to my parents at one point.
I mean, gotta be honest. It wouldn't be unusual to go an entire month without talking or texting to anyone in my extended family. It wouldn't be a great month, but it wouldn't be the world's most unusual month.
Maybe a busy month for you.
Yeah, or them, right? But it also is the kind of thing where we're all connected on Facebook. So everybody would. So if that counts, I mean, no, I also have
that doesn't count.
Okay, well, but it counts on some level in the sense that they're not in a ditch because they posted on Facebook that this special Italian dish that we made, or these 18 people are in our house and we're having a party, yip yip hey, all the stuff. Like, you can sort of have an idea, or wave to us from the coast that we're on this vacation, right? You sort of, in loose terms, where people is. If they're posting on Facebook, greetings from my hospital bed, and you still can't pick up a fucking phone, then you're a horrible person. Maybe you already knew, but that's the confirmation.
And still didn't want to talk about it.
You're right.
That sounds like a problem, Grandma.
No, if I hadn't talked to anybody for more than 5 weeks,
it would be weird.
It would be weird in both directions. It would be really weird for me not to go, hey, I wonder what's happening with that jackass. Or it would be really weird for someone to have not reached out to us. There's too much overlapping everything. Somebody's got an event. Somebody's got a thing. Somebody has information to tell. There
are too many people in your house not to have a connection somehow with shit going on.
Bingo bango.
I have an idea. I know. What? I have two items that I'm going to bump to a bonus episode that we'll record in a bit, and have just our last aspect of this recording, dear listeners, be about what we are watching.
What have you been watching? Tell me something good. Tell me what you're watching in the world. What's entertaining you these days? Give me happy news. Oh. Surely there is some. I
don't know that what I've been watching qualifies as happy news. I did see Council of Dads.
What is that?
Which is a new show that will be starting in April, but they gave you the teaser right after This Is Us ended. A TV show that I saw for the first year, cried painfully in every episode, and then said, fuck that shit, and never saw again because I don't.
Fuck you, because fuck you.
Don't
That's
you
why.
Dare manipulate me.
This is us 6 feet apart in the line. Fuck you and your crock pot. Had enough.
Pretty much. This is us 6 feet apart. So Council of Dads is about a father who finds out he has cancer and 5 children. 4 children, and his wife finds out she's pregnant. So he basically puts together a little panel of 3 of their friends that in case something happens to him, which you obviously know it does because you're not an idiot. You've been watching TV for a very long time. These are the 3 men that I want my children to take, from whom I want them to take the lead and learn life things. And he says to them, 1 year, I want you after I'm gone to give my kids, I'm not asking you to love my children, but I'm asking you to give them 1 year. And I'm confident you will love my children, but 1 year. Okay. Well, if you're not crying already, you're a fucking statue because they manipulated the fuck out of me just like every single episode of This Is Us. So it's younger and it's I don't know. I liked it a lot. I cried like a bitch. I will watch it when it starts again in April, and I will give it 1 season. And if it manipulates me the same way, I will be done.
So, more interesting to me than that show that I will definitely watch and we will watch is who is your Council of Dads? Did your moms, you know, because it's us and fuck you too bad. But did you start thinking about, yeah, of course. And I don't mean me only. I mean, it's our group of college friends, the aforementioned D Sharps. Yeah, we already know that. So we're baked, tough shit baked in. But do you have dads? Do you have a bunch of male? And I want to harken back to another episode for those who are still new to us. Stuart, sadly, had a friend pass sometime in the past 8 months. I don't remember the time frame. And he, as you mentioned on the podcast, took it upon himself to reach out to the teen boy in that house and say, let's just start going to a lunch every so often. And he sort of just stepped up without being asked to, I'm here. I'm your dad's bud, and I know you, and whatever you want to talk about. So surely between that circumstance and this fantastically horrible television concept,
painful,
you've put some big old brains on this shit. And if you haven't, well, I'll give you a chance.
I really haven't, but I want to. I really want to think about it.
I want to too, because it's not the kind you're like, and just to continue with the really heavy content that it's kind of not all that heavy too, because it's just as an exercise, I have seen that among the many things that our precious healthcare workers are doing for us is updating their will. And we've thought, my husband and I, prior to any of this madness going on, in the past 2 years, we should update our will, because every year that you grow older and 2 or 3 years that you grow, I mean, we set all that stuff up when we were still thinking about, we have to maintain this school system. We have to maintain that one is in diapers.
The boys were little.
And so they have to be, and now they're already, one of them at some point,
hopefully,
in the future of the United States, will be traveling to some university, right? So now we're down to just keeping 2 together, because one is sort of, on the way out of the nest, maybe. So anyway, updating the will, these are all things that got to keep in mind. So it's this notion of what if the worst, because I also go to the thing that I am not yet, even if I had the bandwidth to do it, I haven't done it. Cleaning, doing the death clean, there's a name for it that I mention all the time, where you come in and you don't leave it for someone else. And it's very different than hiding the bag of porn or having the pact where somebody's going to come in and get all of your secret stash of, I don't know, Russian knives, whatever the fuck you have.
Malamars. The Malamars. Bridge mix next to your bed.
The secret stash. But then there's the idea of just the general horse shit. What are they going to do with the 18 sofas that I refuse to fucking sell because somebody's going to pay for that on eBay and make me my $8? Like all the stupid, just too much crap, right? That's in every possible fill it up, crap. Somebody else is going to have to get the U-Haul and do the thing. You should, as a service, you should fucking do that. I'm not fucking doing that. What's that meme that's going around for years? You know, I have been just waiting for the opportunity, just putting off the idea of giving my house a thorough clean because I didn't have the time. And now this week, I understand that was not the reason why I did not give my house a thorough clean. Because I have the time and I'm not doing it.
Time was never the issue, it seems. I didn't know then what I know now.
I swear to the Lord, my sister-in-law has decided that one of her activities, first of all, painted the garage, and now is spending the right. Thank you. The eyes have rolled all the way up to the brain and stuck there as they should. And now what she's doing is, I shit you not, organizing the Christmas decorations. And it's not like fitting them better into the limited storage that every home has. It is, here's the photograph of every ornament package. If you don't know from ornaments come in their own kind of packages, or you buy a separate package that's a little more space saving and efficient and you put them in there. But it's usually when you're taking down those decorations, when you're never as optimistic as when you're putting them up. When you're taking them down, you're fucking done with this shit. And I've already got to move on because St. Patrick's is here, or whatever the fuck day it is. I'm too late. Just shove it in the box and put it away. I'll deal with it next year. So she had a sea of ornaments and glitter and bullshit and all the tissue and packaging out. Like she was going to it's like the fucking Library of Congress. And I was thinking, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why?
Wait, did you see that on Facebook?
Yes.
So you didn't call her to find out?
No, no. She's an active participant on Facebook. She's active. She posts a lot of stuff. So if she posts a lot of stuff all the time anyway, and now there's a whole lot of extra time in her day to post stuff. So we're getting a big window. It's almost like a live stream. Truthfully, you can know what she's doing at any moment. And there's some folks who are like that, and it's very interesting. But I don't do it in my life. I barely have time to. I have to physically tell myself, you have to stop and go to the bathroom. Like I have to force myself to stop what I'm doing to go to the bathroom. If that's where I am, I'm not posting. I'm not posting pictures of the inside of my garage. I don't have time to be doing these activities, let alone documenting these activities.
Let's be honest. We've just told the story of how we do have time-ish. It's never going to fucking happen. It's not on my list of priorities. It's not even near my list of priorities. I have never even seen my list of priorities. I am going to make my priority, though, thinking about who would be on our Council of Dads. I really need to think about it, and I will get back to you.
I'll do it, too. I'll do it, too, because it's interesting. Because there's blood, and then there's the new love among the friends who are, magically brother and sister from another mother all of a sudden, who are also, then there's the increased value of someone who's in your day-to-day life. And how does that fit compared with, because when we thought about it originally 1,000 years ago when we did this, we tried to break it down in terms of who is guaranteed to always be a part of our life. Who is guaranteed to never exit our lives? Is that me having a crackle or you?
I don't know. I'm not moving.
It was a terrible crackle, which I've just changed it. So what we do is, who is guaranteed to never allow this child to be out of their life? If they're going to require it anyway, we can put them with the furthest edge of responsibility because they won't accept it. They'll force themselves into this child's life, and that's what we want. Who are the people that they would lose touch with if we didn't mandate it? And so we put them closer in the circle because we want this child to benefit from, and it's like this one and that one. We couldn't. They would shoot everybody else in the head to get to my kid. Too bad, I'm coming in. So it's like, okay,
that's family.
Yeah. So it's just, anyway, And then
All
there's
right, so
people with expertise and whatever.
Yes, that's the one I want to think about. The ones who are in your life by choice with those gifts that your children are going to need.
Yes, and the kids are already comfortable with them, or they have the connection to the thing that your kid has already said, and so that shit's important too.
All right, I'll think about that. Yeah, all right, I'm on that one. I'll think about that.
Ooh, homework.
Yeah, homework about replacing my husband. So not really
I
necessarily
have
enjoyable.
No, I have homework too. I have to learn how to properly pronounce Plano, Texas.
Plano.
I won't do it.
I won't do it.
Is it? Which is right now?
Plano.
I've internalized it as Plano.
Plano.
Is that oh,
yes.
No.
It is. It's where your salsa comes from.
They don't like it that way. Plano, right. That's
Plano. You're out of your mind.
All
right. Dear listeners, we're going to wrap it up, flip it, rub it down. And oh no. And we are going to thank you for listening. I've definitely asked you for input on this one. Oh, I do want to throw a couple of shouts out. Yeah, that's how you say it. Beth, I have a love, a friend, an acquaintance, a camp family member. I'm going to say Beth is family, although we're not related. She threw a shout out on a Facebook group, but that expands much farther than I ever would have promoted myself. I'd like to thank her for shouting out, and also to Anya for putting it out there that this is a podcast, dear friends, dear listeners, that you might enjoy. I enjoy these whack nut ladies.
Oh,
we are the nut meats of your pistachio. So
yes.
we are here for you. And we are so grateful when Beth and Anya reach out. And I also will be sending them some swag because boy, did you, I don't want to say earn it, but your behavior, you should be very proud of yourself. And you will be when you are carrying a Brilliant Observations tote. Not a minority observations, but Brilliant Observations tote.
I super love it. Well, and they did earn it because the fact is listening is an intentionally tacit experience. The whole point is that we connect with you, and the privilege is to be able to connect with you. The privilege is knowing we do it, and we get such a huge bonus with the positive confirmation of you telling us. We already know it because we get enough of that feedback, but when we hear it from you, you're going above and beyond as well. So yeah, they earned a little swag. I think it's great.
Thank you for listening. Dear listeners, you too can connect with us.
It's possible.
At Listen Brilliant, anywhere you want to listen brilliant. And at brilliantobservations@gmail.com. We will reply immediately. We are here for you because we feel that you have the potential to really be there for us.
We're here for you, gang. Love you. Check us out on all the socials because we're sitting around waiting to hear from you. Hope everyone is well in your world, and we'll catch you next week.